Alright, ladies and gentlemen, apologies for the long wait there. We only have one manga reaction to do for today, and it's Sakamoto Days. Let's go ahead and get started. Well, actually, hold on. Let me refresh the page so I can get the next chapter up. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Yo, peoples! Qushu 92 here. Welcome back to Sakamoto Days. In the last chapter, we had Heisuke facing off against this masked pro wrestler assassin who has apparently learned the art of making himself immune to bullets and facing off against Kumanomi, who actually gets part of her earring shot off by Heisuke because she starts to underestimate him. And Heisuke, thinking back to how he needed to get stronger in order for everyone to be able to rely on him, because in his eyes, he hasn't been doing what he needs to. He hasn't been pulling his weight. In his eyes, he hasn't been pulling his weight in order for him to be seen as a valuable member of Team Sakamoto. At least to the degree where he can face off against someone as strong and as powerful as Kumanomi from Alkamar and be all like, hey, don't worry, I got this. So this is Heisuke really going out of his way to make sure that he tells Kumanomi and this masked wrestler dude, who we still don't know the name of, hey, y'all dealing with me, and I'm gonna make sure I stop you. Because he also winds up blowing up an oil tank, or setting an oil tanker on fire, and getting the guy engulfed in flames. Now, the dude is bulletproof, but we don't know about fireproof. Let's see how viable that is. And we get a cover page here with Nagumo. Just a solitary cover page with Nagumo. Days 226, more than friends, less than assassins. And we just cut to the skyline, and Heisuke, he's bleeding, and he's preparing to load his gun again. You're like, I'll do everything in my power to take you down. And then Kumanomi, still showing that her earring got shot off by Heisuke, goes,
get a clue, worm.
And then the Max dude, who is immune to bullets and has just been engulfed in fire, is standing there while his whole body is still on fire. You would think I get used to the ridiculousness of people being put in these situations in this story, but no. It's like he's standing there and he's on fire. In any other series, this would be all like, oh, he's standing there and he's immune to fire. But here it's all like, he's standing here and he's immune to fire. Of course, he's just standing here on fire, like it's not even like it's not even bothering him. No one's ever set me on fire before. And he's standing there as the flames dissipate, as if it didn't do anything to him. His clothes are sizzling. You see scorch marks over his clothes, but he's fine. It didn't affect him. What's with this guy's durability? Are you actually human? My turn. Don't you go and dodge me now. And as soon as this dude says that, all you see is just the impact from his foot leaving the ground and him clotheslining Heisuke in an instant. Also, his clothes look like they haven't been scorched at all. So, what kind of clothes does this man have on? He is wearing baggy pants, a dress shirt, and a tie. He's also wearing... No, he's using his bare hands. He's also wearing just a mask, and that's it. What is his clothes made from? Did he go to the Continental Tailor from John Wick to get all this stuff done? But he clotheslines Heisuke, and Heisuke just goes flying. And Heisuke notices that there are people in his line of flight. Not line of sight, but line of flight. People! And then he uses the butt of his gun to hop over a lady to keep himself from hitting her. But he just slams the butt of his gun into the ground. And he hits the ground hard. Ow!
Freaky.
And then Kumanomi is still looking bothered.
You should have used those people to cushion yourself. If you can't be ruthless, you've already lost the battle.
That jerk, he sacrificed his own body to protect those people? After I sent him flying. Because remember, this dude has a high voice.
What are you muttering about?
He's gay. And And animals like him? Wait a sec. That's right, Peasuke. I agree, yo. We've already won this battle. Huh? I'm kind of with the wrestler dude. How have you beaten him already? I want to know. I want to know. Can you show me? Sorry, that's the only Phil Collins song that I love singing all the time. All the time. There's something in my eye. Get out of there. Trying to read. That's right, Peasuke. I agree, yo. We've already won this battle. Mind you, I have no idea what Heisuke's English dub voice sounds like in the anime, because I have yet to watch Sakamoto Days and its anime yet. I have yet to watch it. We've already won this battle. Huh? These guys are really tough and there's only one of me, but I've already managed to hold them off. That's a win right there. And that catches both of their attentions because they realize that Heisuke's right. He managed to keep them from going after Sakamoto. He managed to delay them. There's no way I'm letting them get to Taro. And then Masked Guy speaks up. You're really pissing me off. Quit talking like you're such a great guy. You're making me look like the bad guy. And this is the first time we see the eyes underneath this dude's mask. And he's glaring at Heisuke. Then we cut back to Sakamoto and company, and they're speeding along the highway. And we get Shin. Heisuke could get killed. Come on, Heisuke. Please be okay. And Lou is looking at Shin. What the heck?
What's wrong?
Just what we need. A traffic jam. And there is a traffic jam on the highway. Literally one of the worst things that could be happening. And we have a police officer. We have a police officer who's going towards each car. I immediately recognize this police officer because we don't see his eyes, but he looks eerily similar to the police officer who had no problem gunning down a civilian, who also happens to be one of the Order prospects that Oki was referring to. And then we have, what is his name? Wu-Tang? His name is Wu-Tang, right? A checkpoint. This is bad. The JAA's looking for Sakamoto. If they check the trailer. Now what? And then Granny Mia's in there as well. And then we get someone knocking on the side of the, we get knocking on the side of the glass of Boiled, and it's that same dude. Good afternoon. We're looking for a wanted criminal. Mind if I have a look in the back? And dude is just chewing on some gum. Some gum. I said chewing on some gun. But given how crazy people are, I don't imagine chewing on a gun to be that ridiculous. But he's just chewing on some gum, or he's eating something. And then Wu-Tang speaks up. We're transporting a patient in critical condition. Doctor's orders. Let us through. I'll be quick. And then Boiled is kind of sweating, but the dude doesn't notice. Then dude gets in the back, and he looks, and we see Atari, Aoi, Hana, and Lou standing over Granny Mia. Granny Mia, right there. Thank you, Hana.
Granny Mia, are you okay?
And then Mia is just laying there in place of Sakamoto. And dude is looking. He's looking, and Shin is hiding behind the hospital bed. Come on, leave already. Kendaka is hiding as well. Sorry, you're good. And then we get beeping. Because is that Sakamoto? We get beeping, and then Aoi's eyes widen, and she goes, Darling, Sakamoto's vitals. And the beeping continues. And Granny Mia can't put up the facade anymore because this is Sakamoto's life that's on the line here. And the dude is looking in the car, and then Granny Mia hops up, and she immediately starts tending to Sakamoto. Then we get the police officer who speeds out of nowhere And he already has a gun towards Sakamoto's face. He is already inside of the back of already in the back of this trailer, and he's pointing a gun at Sakamoto's face. Freeze, you sorry excuses for assassins.
This guy, he's no ordinary cop.
Stop! And then someone puts their hand up to the window. Hold on, someone's got their hand on the window? And then Boyle looks over. And it's a whole bunch of people who have gotten out of their car. And they're surrounding the truck.
Crap, this whole checkpoint was a trap.
The cop thing caught you off guard, right? I get it. When I wear this uniform, I get so amped to fire my gun in the name of justice. And then all of a sudden, dude gets kicked out of the truck by Lou. She kicks him right in the face. And there's some blood being shot out here. So she lands a solid hit and she drops him while they speed off. Lou, and then before he can say Lou goes,
Shin, go! You take care of the boss, Aoi and Hana.
Oh, she drunk. Oh, snap. So hold on. And that's where the chapter ends. The chapter ends with Lou kicking this cop assassin out of the truck. And she's already had something to drink, too. So now we're going to have possibly slightly drunk Lou up against this prospect for the order. And that's where the chapter ends. Yo, Halster, good to see you. Yo, oh great, that didn't work. Heisuke, I think you're outmatched here. You know what? I like that attitude. Take any W you can get. W objective completion for the time being. Exactly. I love this masked guy. He's the heel, but he really want to be the baby face of this little feud. Curse you, Traffic! We would have gotten away from this if it wasn't for your meddling Traffic. Hugh, I don't know if he's that dedicated to guns, but then again, I could see it with this guy. Everything really out to stop them, huh? Yeah, so here's my thing. Given the fact that we've already had one of these prospects for the order try and stop them the first time with Kumanomi, they were stopped by Heisuke, and Heisuke is actually keeping them occupied and keeping them from chasing after him. Now we have another prospect from the order, the cop guy, and he's being held back by Lou. We're going to have the beginning of that. People, Lou, let's go. People have been wanting Lou to do stuff. Here you go, people. She's finally getting some action after being on the sidelines for so long. Yes, it's been a hot minute since Lou has had a moment all to herself. If I'm remembering correctly, the last time we saw Lou go all out with fighting was all the way back when those prisoners were let out and the order was hunting them. When Shin and Lou were fighting that one guy in that department store. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like it's been ages since we've seen Lou take part in an actual full-fledged fight. If it was a lot later and it wasn't too long ago, then please correct me. But I feel like it's been ages since Lou has had a moment where she was actually going to be able to fight competently and have a moment for herself. So it feels like it has been a nice long while since Lou has had a moment to herself. But that's the thing. Now Lou is going to have her time to shine as she's facing off against the cop prospect. Now here's the thing though. The amount of people that Oki has referenced to as being part of the new order, like the new prospects to replace, Osaragi, Shishiba, Nagumo, and pretty much everyone else who left the order, to fill in those extra spots, we still have some people. We got the brother and sister who we just seen that was, decided to fight the masked wrestler guy. We seen them, but we also have the mother who's pushing her baby in a stroller around. We still got two other prospects that are out there trying to help bring in Sakamoto and eliminate them. So while we have Lou facing off against the cop, we still got those other people out there as well. Now the question is, who's going to face off against the mother and who's going to face off against the brother and sister? Because if Lou is facing off against the cop guy, then I'm wondering if Kendaka's gonna face off against either the brother and sister, or face off against the mom, or is Boyle gonna face off against one of them? Because we got to think about that too. But I'm also happy that, let's just talk about the most important thing here. Heisuke really is fulfilling that objective of keeping Kumanomi and the masked dude held back. He achieved that objective. He's basically won that, much to the chagrin of Kumanomi and the dude with the mask. But also, let's talk about Lou. The fact that she's going to have a moment to shine after so long, I'm so happy about it. Because we've been seeing so much from Shin, we've been seeing a lot from Sakamoto, we saw flashbacks, all that, the whole nine, the Order, members of the Order, Shishiba, Osaragi, Oki, Nagumo, everyone, Uzuki, everyone! But it's nice that Lou is gonna, and even Heisuke had 2 chapters for himself. I'm happy that I'm happy that Lou is about to have a moment all for herself, so everyone can stop saying, when is Lou gonna do something? I'm happy that we're getting this amount of screen time for Lou. So that way it's not like, oh, only a couple members from House Sakamoto are gonna have their moment to shine. No, it's time for Lou. And it looks like she's been drinking because she was given those trademark drunk hiccups, which means that we're gonna see some drunken Lou fighting against this cop. Now, the thing is, we don't know the fullest extent of how capable this cop is. We do know he's ridiculously fast because he was already in front of Sakamoto pointing a gun at his face before Shin, who was directly next to Sakamoto, could stand to protect him. So he's ridiculously fast, but we don't know how strong he actually is and why he's such a prospect for the New Order as it stands. What I can't wait to see is seeing Lou go beyond her own capabilities and see if we can see some new things from Lou in this drunken state, because we haven't really seen much progress there. Let's be honest. We haven't seen too much. So we got Uzuki, the mother, the twins, Kanaguri, I believe, and Gozu. Yes. But not counting, but here's the thing though. It'd be too much to count every single person from the Order along with Uzuki, because we still have... Pardon me. It's been a long morning. But we have Uzuki, we have Kumanomi, we have Gozu, we have Kanaguri, we have members of the Order being Oki, and then we have Tanabata, we have Torres, we have... Wow, they really are short of Order members, aren't they? Yeah, they really are short members. Huh. Because now that Osaragi and Shishiba are gone, that's even less members of the Order who are still there. So all these prospects are meant to fill in the roles that everyone else used to fill, and that includes Old Man Takamura and Hio. So I'm just now seeing that the amount of people that we got for these prospects are meant... I'm not saying that's just Uzuki. X's group excludes Torres and other Order members. Yeah, okay. So Uzuki, the mother, the twins, Kanaguri, and I believe and Gozu. But here's the thing, though. Uzuki, the mother, the twins, and the cop guy, they are prospects for the Order, and not necessarily to Uzuki's group. So we really just have Uzuki, Kanaguri, Kumanomi, and Gozu. But we really do have even less members of Alkamar, because Tenkyu, we have no idea where he's at. I wouldn't be surprised if Tenkyu shows up again. But now, let's just focus on what we got. We're not going on break next week for the next chapter of Sakamoto Days, which means we get to see Lou fight this cop guy. And the thing is, we only know the name of any of these new prospects, any of these new Order prospects, and that's, what is it, Sheena? That's it. That's one of the twins. That's one of the twins, Sheena. That's it. We don't know the brother's name. We don't know the cop guy. We don't know the mother with the baby. We don't even know the name of the masked wrestler who's with Kumanomi right now. We just know the name of just one person, but we don't know anybody else. We want Mafia drunk Lou in the next chapter. Well, she's already been drinking, but we don't know how drunk she actually is. So hold on, let me pull this up. Maybe they said their names and I didn't see it. So let me check. Yeah, we just got, yeah, just the current order members who are official. Yeah, it's exact. I was literally about to read out their names. Good timing there, Holster. It's crazy that the only not new order members remaining is just Oki and Torres and Tanabata. Everyone else is new, and even then, Torres and Tanabata are still kind of relatively new because after they haven't been in the order for too long. Because let me pull up Torres real quick. Yeah, newest member of the Order, a group of the strongest assassins of the JAA. He was recruited alongside Tanabata after the incident at the Assassin Exhibition of the Century and the losses of Hio and Takamura. So, they're still relatively new. But then again, how much time has passed ever since Uzuki took over and then all those murders across Japan was happening? So they're still relatively new, just not as new as the newer members for it. And they don't even have these people lined up for who they are or their names. Not even future members or prospect members. We don't even have them. Yeah, we don't even have them at all yet. But yeah, overall, I am looking forward to Drunk Lou fighting. That's what I'm looking forward to because Lou hasn't had a moment to really shine in quite some time, and I'm happy about it. But that is going to be a chapter we're going to have to look into next week. And we're also getting a new One Piece chapter next week. So next week is going to be packed. And if I'm looking at my calendar, yeah, it's going to be crazy packed because not only do I have to do One Piece, but I also have to do a One Piece reflection because the 31st will be Sunday and also the last day of August. So I got to do One Piece reflections, and Sakamoto days, and a One Piece episode reaction as well. So the next chapter we get will be on the 31st of August. Because September 1st is on a Monday. Because there's 31 days in August. But yeah, we're going to have to see how the story progresses with Lou taking on the cop guy, the cop assassin. Hopefully, we'll learn all of their names because I'm kind of tired of calling them by the way they look. Hope we get Lou action too, though. If the fight was off screen completely, I would initially laugh before, then get mixed feelings about it. I hope it's not off screen. Lou has not been doing too much this whole time, and I would very much like to see Lou actually take a part in protecting Sakamoto. I would very much prefer that. So that's what I want. But I also hope in the next chapter, or maybe the chapter after that, they finally give us the names of these Order prospects. These new potential Order members. I want their names. I'm tired of calling them the mother with the baby. I'm tired of calling them the cop guy. I'm tired of calling them the twins with the one person that has a name. Just one person's been named. But I want to be able to call them by their names. I don't want to call them the wrestler guy. Because even then, I keep calling them the wrestler dude, or dude with the wrestler mask, or the pro wrestler person. I don't want to call them that anymore. I want to call them by their names, so I hope that we actually get their names in the next chapter, or maybe the chapter after next. But I would rather have a name to put to the face. But that's just me in particular. Interesting chapter, I'll say that much. But this is also what you would call one of those setup chapters, because we're getting a chapter with Lou. Hope and pray that we are actually getting a chapter with Lou, and we're not cutting to anyone else. But yeah, we're getting a chapter with Lou, and I feel like the Rey Mysterio guy. See, I wanted to say Rey Mysterio. I really wanted to say Rey Mysterio, and I think I said Rey Mysterio in the last reaction. I could be wrong, but I think I brought up Rey Mysterio. But I want to call them by their names. I would rather call them by their names. But we're going to have to see in the next chapter. Overall, it was interesting, but I feel like this is a setup for Lou, and it's been a long time coming. But that's all I got, ladies and gentlemen. I got some other things to do, and then I'm going to do my One Piece reaction and get it to you guys as quickly as possible. But I'm done for today. This is the only manga reaction because One Piece is currently on break. But I'm done. To Averol, to Halster, to everyone else who's watching, whether you're watching live or you're watching a little bit later on. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. and because I know you're coming back anyway. Have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!